All right, we're joined on the phone now by Mark Knight, DJ and producer extraordinaire. I'm assuming you're in the UK at the moment, correct?
I am for a couple of days. Yeah, just popped home from the weekend. I'm about to go to South America on Thursday for another 10 days, a tour out there. So yeah, just home for a few days, straight back in the studio, and then before you know it, off again.
You were in Toronto last weekend, switching times around on the fly, to my understanding. What exactly happened?
To be honest, the party in Chicago slightly overran. We did Crowbar on Saturday night, and then it led to me playing at some crazy after party, which was amazing. Hence the putting back of the flight and getting a little bit later than anticipated. But I think it was all worth it.
Have you ever showed up to a gig and found out you missed your set time?
No, I've never done that yet. No, so far so good.
Now, how important is it to balance both the old and the new, both in production and DJing?
I think one works off the other, you know. As your profile rises as a producer, that then feeds what you're doing as a DJ and elevates your status or your perception worldwide. So therefore your gigs, you know, you get more gigs, and vice versa. The better gigs you do, then affords you to work with better artists because you earn more money to go and then reinvest in the studio. So one thing, you know, they kind of work hand in hand, but you really need to be doing both to get to that top level, you know, to kind of move out the circle of DJing locally. Once you start making records and you have an international profile, that then elevates you to playing around the world.
Do you find with such a busy tour schedule that you wear yourself out to the point where you're thinking, okay, this week, cancel my gigs, I'm going to go lay on the beach or something like that?
That sounds perfect. I dream about that every week, but I don't know, you know, you've kind of, there's a saying here, make hay while the sun shines, you know, when you've got that opportunity, you kind of, that burning yourself out, grab it with both hands and run for it as long as you possibly can. I suppose you could draw a parallel to being a professional sportsman. You know, you have a kind of life expectancy of, you know, a career expectancy of doing what you do, and in that time frame, you've really got to push the envelope and go as far as you possibly can, really. I mean, a day off would be great, but then again, if you love doing what you're doing, you know, it's not a chore.
So is all the traveling, producing, DJing, and of course the media interviews just part of the fun of the industry, or is it really a job that you have to sit down and focus on?
Without a doubt, it's definitely a job. It's definitely a profession. You know, the whole thing has got a lot more professional. Back in the day, you know, it was all about being the party, you know, the leader of the party, really, and that was it. And your whole career was based on the fact you were the biggest party animal, and it worked that way. But not now. It's such a cutthroat industry, and if you don't stay focused and stay consistent in what you're doing, there's so many people so keen to, you know, to take your position that it really has become a business. Although it's not, as I say, it's not a chore, you know, because you love doing it, and you wouldn't do it unless you were passionate about it. But you have to kind of approach things more professionally. Definitely so.
Now, if you weren't doing this, what kind of profession do you think you'd find yourself in nowadays?
Probably now, I would imagine I'd always like to be in the music industry if at all possible, but if I was removed from that, I suppose in the construction industry. When I was at school, you know, you kind of dreamed that you'd have a career in music, but you never thought it'd get there, and that was always my banker as well, construction. I had a big passion to work in construction, and when I left school, I went to college and university, and you know, I did that whilst doing music at the same time. But that's, I suppose, where I'd go. But you know, if I had to, I'd go back to that. But fingers crossed it won't get to that point.
Well, definitely happy that you made the correct choice in
Thanks,
both
mate.
mine and I'm sure many fans' eyes as well. Now, if you were to compare your label Toolroom records to a person, what stage of life would they be in now? Are they still, you know, just crawling? Are you just getting underway? Is it fully mature?
We've done the groundwork, and we have a good solid base to work from now. We have a good fan base. We've got a consistent amount of output. We have a good output, you know, but we're still developing as a label. You know, we've just moved into the field of compilations, and we're doing artist albums, which is something new for us. Our first album, our first compilation is going to be released in June, which is going to be mixed by Martin ten Velden and Paul Harris. They're doing the very first Toolroom Nights comp, which moves alongside our club night. You know, it's like a kind of, I don't know, Defecting the House Subliminal Sessions sort of set up. So that's like, that's new ground for us, and we're excited about that, apprehensive but excited about that. And there's so many facets of the business we still haven't explored yet. We want to move into other genres of music eventually and mature to a label that's all encompassing and takes on board all styles of good music, really, without putting any sort of boundaries on it. So we've still got a long way to go, and we're moving into publishing and all other areas of the music business. But we've got a long way to go, but so far so good.
Is there anyone under the label that you see just about ready to take off and become the next big thing of the year, or maybe someone outside the label?
I think Funk Agenda's just about to hit the nail on the head. He's been kind of bubbling under for a minute, and he's very consistent in what he's doing. I think all of a sudden he's going to find his stride, and something's going to click, and that'll be massive for him. So I'd say my tip for the rest of the year will probably be himself. But there are a lot of other guys who've got signed. We just signed a new record from Shlomi Aber, who's I'm sure you're aware of. He's on fire at the moment, and I'm hoping for big things for that record. People like him, and there's another guy called Patrick LaFunk. Again, another guy just finding his stride now. We've just signed a couple of tracks from him. So under them three names, we're looking for something big.
Now, Funk Agenda, they had the Delirium Silence remix, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Just got a hold of that record the other day. Excellent.
Yeah, he's a really, really good friend of mine, Adam. His first name's Adam, but he's really on it. I mean, he's a very talented musician, great keyboard player, great knowledge of music, and I think he's just about to, hit the nail on the head, and something's really going to blow for him.
Yeah. The other one I thought was Wally Lopez. He's got some extreme skills, I guess.
Yeah, Wally's cool, man. He's such a nice guy as well. He's really sound.
If someone was to launch their own label or even start DJing, would you tell them to stay away from vinyl from a business standpoint? For
sure, yeah. I mean, it's on a declining. It's on its way out. It's the only medium, I suppose, of music that's still the same still the same technology as the 50s. And it's just times have moved on so dramatically since then. We're getting our music on our phones, on our on our pens, whatever. It's ridiculous. And to go back and start playing music on vinyl, I mean, that just doesn't add up. So, yeah, if you want to embrace the technology and move with the times, then vinyl's not, a kind of medium that you should be concentrating your efforts on. It's a digital world now, and, you need to be part of that movement.
How soon before we see the first ever non-human DJ which selects and mixes music through artificial intelligence? Is that the day that you give up DJing?
It sounds like we've already been made redundant by the sounds of that kind of notion, but I think you always need that. That's the key to DJing, really. Is how to read crowds' reaction, how to encompass what people's attitudes and feel on the night, and kind of make the night work in that way. It's, I'm sure. Well, who knows if they develop something that could do that? Then good luck. But I don't think you could ever replace that human interaction.
Now, I guess finally, just to finish up, what's coming up with Tool Room? You said you have a new artist album mix and stuff like that coming up.
Yeah, we've got a new compilation, as I say, Tool Room Nights. That's forthcoming in June. So if you kind of check the website, toolroomrecords.com, I'll give you a bit more info on that. Release-wise, the next 12 on Tool Room tracks is Colombian Soul, the Colombian Soul EP, which is myself and Dean Ramirez. Look out for that one, it's going to be big. And we've got the next track on Tool Room Records is Jorgensen. The track's called Untitled, and there's an amazing Dead Male 5 mix, on that as well from Toronto. He's on fire at the moment. I mean, he's massive. I'm sure he must be getting a lot of props from his hometown. If not, he should be.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because I've only ever seen him build at one gig before here in the area.
Man, that's such a shame. He's an amazing talent. You guys need to embrace him. He's the man.
Well, I appreciate the time. And
thanks for having me. No, thanks for having me, man. Much appreciated.
And, we'll see you next time you're in the area, I'm sure.
For sure. No, thanks for having me. Much appreciated. Hi, this is Mark Knight, and you're checking out DJ Amp on the Amplified Show. Hi, this is Mark Knight, and you're checking out my latest release on Amplified Radio. Hi, so how do you spell Blunts? B-L-U-N-T-S?
Yeah, Blunts. Yep.
Blunts, I'll call you. Hi, this is Mark Knight, and you're checking out the Sound Blunts on, I forgot the name, Tectonic, do you say?
Tectonic. Yeah.
Right, okay. Hi, this is Mark Knight, and you're checking out the Sound Blunts on Tectonic.
Tectonic Radio.
Right, okay.
Yeah, no problem.
Hi, this is Mark Knight, and you're checking out the Sound Blunts on Tectonic Radio.
Perfect.